What if I told you that reaching your first $100,000 isn't really about finding one amazing investment? It's about building a financial machine that gets stronger every year. And here's the part most people get wrong. They think the journey from zero to $100,000 looks like this. Work, arrow, save, arrow, invest, arrow, become rich. But that's too simple. Your first $100,000 is actually built from 5 stages. You need to control your money, create a surplus, increase your income, invest consistently, and protect what you've built. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what that roadmap can look like. And no, you don't need to be a financial genius to understand it. Stage 1, know your starting point. Before you can reach $100,000, you need to know where you're starting. Imagine trying to drive to a destination without knowing where you are. That's how many people manage money. They know their salary, but they don't know where the money actually goes. So your first step is simple. Find your monthly income. Then list your essential expenses. Then list your debt payments. And finally, calculate what's left. Let's say you bring home $3,000 a month. Your essential spending's $2,400. That leaves you with $600. That $600 is important because that's the money that can eventually become savings, investments, and wealth. Income minus expenses equals money available to build wealth. But don't worry if your number is small. The goal isn't to start with a huge surplus. The goal is to create one. Stage 2, build your first financial buffer. Before you aggressively invest, give yourself some breathing room. Why? Because life doesn't follow your spreadsheet. Your phone breaks, your car needs repairs, your income changes. Unexpected expenses appear. And if you have no cash buffer, one emergency can force you to sell investments or borrow money. So creating a starter emergency fund. It doesn't have to be enormous on day one. So your first target might simply be $500, then $1,000. Then gradually work toward a larger emergency reserve appropriate for your situation. And here's an important distinction. Your emergency money has a different job from your investment money. Emergency savings are there for stability. Investments are there for long-term growth. Don't confuse the two. Stage 3, create your first $10,000. Now we're entering the first major milestone, $10,000. This stage isn't about becoming rich. It's about proving that you can consistently create a financial surplus. Let's use a simple example. Suppose you can save and invest $500 every month. That's $6,000 per year. After roughly 20 months, you have contributed about $10,000. No lottery ticket, no secret stock, no overnight success, just repeated action. And if you can increase that monthly amount to $750, now you're contributing $9,000 a year. At this stage, your biggest weapon isn't investment performance. It's your savings capacity. That's a huge lesson. When your portfolio is small, increasing the amount you can consistently put into it can matter enormously. Stage 4, attack the biggest variable, your income. Here's where the roadmap gets interesting. There is a limit to how much you can cut from your expenses. You can cancel subscriptions, eat out less, shop less, but eventually there's nothing left to cut. Your income doesn't have that same limitation. That's why getting to $100,000 isn't just a budgeting challenge. It's also an income growth challenge. Ask yourself, can I learn a valuable skill? Can I negotiate better pay? Can I take on additional legitimate work? Can I build a small business? Can I move into a higher paying field? The goal isn't simply how can I spend less? The better question is, How can I increase the gap between what I earn and what I spend? Because that gap is the fuel that powers your wealth building machine. And every time your income rises, don't immediately upgrade your lifestyle. Direct part of the increase toward your financial goals. Stage 5, turn savings into ownership. Saving gets you started, but eventually your money needs an opportunity to grow. That's where investing comes in. For a beginner, the important concept isn't what's the next stock that's going to explode. It's understanding ownership and diversification. Depending on your goals, risk tolerance, and country, that could mean learning about broad market funds, shares, bonds, or other regulated investment options. The key is to understand what you're buying. Don't invest because someone online says, this is guaranteed to make you rich. There are no guaranteed high returns. Markets can fall, investments can lose value, and your timeline matters. Think long-term, think diversified, think consistent, and understand the fees and risks before putting your money in. The $100,000 math. Let's make this concrete. Imagine someone starts with zero and contributes $500 per month. That's $6,000 per year. Without assuming any investment growth, reaching $100,000 from contributions alone would take about 16 years and 8 months. Now increase the contribution to $750 per month. That's $9,000 per year. Now you're looking at roughly 11 years and 2 months without counting investment returns. And at $1,000 per month, that's $12,000 per year. About 8 years and 4 months of contributions alone. Notice what's happening. The biggest change isn't some magical investment. It's the monthly amount. Investment returns can potentially accelerate the journey, but they aren't guaranteed. That's why your plan shouldn't depend on predicting the market perfectly. The part people don't talk about, the middle. Now, here's something important. The hardest psychological part may not be getting from $0 to $10,000. It may be going from $10,000 to $50,000. Why? Because progress can feel painfully slow. You save for months, you look at your account, and it doesn't look dramatically different. This is where people start getting impatient. They see someone online claiming they doubled their money in a few months. Suddenly, a sensible plan feels boring. That's dangerous. Don't turn a long-term wealth goal into a race for excitement. Your job during this stage is simple. Keep increasing your income. Keep your expenses under control. Keep investing according to your plan. Keep avoiding unnecessary financial disasters. Boring can be incredibly powerful. Protect the money you've built. Imagine spending 10 years building $50,000 and then losing a huge portion because of one reckless decision. That's why wealth building isn't just about growth. It's also about protection. Be extremely skeptical of investments promising extraordinary returns with little or no risk. Don't invest money you don't understand. Be careful with excessive debt. Don't let lifestyle inflation consume every pay increase. And don't put your entire financial future into one asset or one idea. Because getting to $100,000 is one challenge. Keeping it is another. The $100,000 roadmap. Step 1, $0 to $1,000. Create a basic emergency buffer. Step 2 to $1,000 to $10,000. Build consistent saving habits. Step 3 to $10,000 to $25,000. Increase your income and investing capacity. Step 4 to $25,000 to $50,000. Stay consistent and avoid lifestyle inflation. Step 5 to $50,000 to $75,000. Let your contributions and long-term growth work together. Step 6 to $75,000 to $100,000. Protect the system and stay focused. Notice something. The strategy doesn't completely change every time your account grows. Your behavior becomes more important. The three numbers to watch. If you want to make this incredibly simple, track three numbers. Number one, how much do I earn? Number two, how much of that income am I keeping? And number three, what is my net worth? Your net worth is basically what you own minus what you owe. Don't obsess over it every day. Check your progress periodically. You're looking for a trend, not perfection. So here's the real roadmap. You don't need to find a magical investment. You need to build a system. First, understand your starting point, then create a financial buffer. Build your savings capacity. Increase your income. Invest consistently and intelligently. Avoid unnecessary financial disasters and keep going long enough for your efforts to compound. Your first $100,000 probably won't happen overnight, but you don't need overnight success. You need a system you can repeat because $100,000 isn't just a number. It's proof that you learned how to make money, keep money, and put money to work. If you're building your financial future from scratch, subscribe to the Wealth Workshop because we're not chasing quick money. We're learning how to build wealth that lasts. The Wealth Workshop. Learn money, build wealth, keep more. Why this version is stronger? I deliberately made the core framework different from a simple save and invest walkthrough. 1. It answers the income question. A beginner earning little may not be able to budget their way to $100,000. The script makes increasing earning power one of the central levers. 2. It doesn't promise a specific investment return. The numerical examples use contributions alone, making the math easy to understand. Investment growth is presented as uncertain rather than guaranteed. 3. It gives viewers milestones, $1,000 to $10,000 to $25,000 to $50,000 to $75,000 to $100,000 gives you natural visual chapters. 4. It has a stronger visual identity. Use progress bars, animated numbers, dashboards, staircase graphics, portfolio animations, and the recurring road to $100,000 motif rather than relying mainly on talking head footage. 5. It is intentionally beginner-friendly. The viewer doesn't need to understand advanced investing terminology before understanding the roadmap. For your channel, I'd make the thumbnail text much shorter than the title. For example, from $0 to $100,000 with a huge upward progress path and $100,000 as the visual focal point. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. See you in my next video.